Here we go. All right, folks, here we are for another session of Off the Grid. I wanted to welcome my next guest, who is a dope MC that calls Canada home. Welcome to Cassette the MC. Hey, thank you for doing the session with me, and how are you today?
Hey, good. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Let's start with some background. Tell everybody where you were born, where exactly in Canada you're at, and how long you've been making music.
So I was born in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. I'm Canadian, lived in BC, but I grew up in BC my whole life. I live in
Okay.
Vancouver. Yeah, I'm a female rapper. I've been rapping pretty much my whole life. So
Hey, awesome. What kind of music did you grow up hearing? What were your parents playing before your introduction to rap?
my dad was really passionate about music. That's definitely where I got my inspiration from. My
Okay.
dad listening to like classic 70s rock is what I do. Jimi Hendrix, Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, Leonard Skinner, Santana, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Eric Clapton, all the Who, the Rolling Stones, all that.
Hey, that's good exposure to music. And then eventually you were introduced to hip hop, rap music. And so do you recall your earliest exposure to hip hop music?
Yeah, I definitely remember pretty vividly. Basically, like I'm pretty much an only child, so I
Okay.
was influenced a lot by my friends and my friends' big brothers. They listen to like classic boom bap rap music. So I remember like very vividly listening to the track Acknowledged by Master Ace.
Oh, well, nice.
And that's like the battle track. And then I remember listening to like Wu-Tang Clan and Tupac and Big L. And I just like being obsessed with it from the moment I heard it. And that was probably around 12 years old.
Oh,
And then
wow.
once I heard it, I just became obsessed. Like I just would go to like the CD store,
Yeah.
buy all the music, and just sit and listen to it for hours on end. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And were you living in Vancouver at the time, or were you still in Alberta? Where
Uh,
was this at?
so actually, I forgot to mention, like I grew up in a really small town. It's in West Kootenays. It's called Nelson.
Okay.
And then so technically I grew up in a village outside of Nelson. So there's
Oh,
like,
wow. Okay.
yeah, like 250, 300 people there. They just got cell phone service like last year.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
nowhere.
Wow. And so do you you recall that first introduction to hip hop, were there any key MCs or key albums that were fundamental in your development in becoming Cassette the MC? What are those albums that stick out?
Um, Definitely Big L, Lifestyles of the Poor and
Yeah.
Dangerous, Big Picture, Nas, It Was Written.
Yeah.
I listen to a lot of Nas. I'm heavily influenced by East Coast rap. Uh,
Okay.
I would say Disposable Arts by Master Ace. Yeah, Wu-Tang Clan, 36 Chambers. Yeah, and like Vinny, I really like Vinny Paz and
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So those are some albums that really stick to me. Like I still have those albums in my collection to this day. So
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. Oh, that's great. Jedi Mind Tricks, Diabolic. I love those
Yeah,
guys.
yeah.
Well, good. Well, hey, outside of rap, what else do you listen to? Your dad was into classic rock. Do you still listen to classic rock, or what else do you like? What's on your playlist?
Yeah, I definitely have a deep appreciation for the classic rock. I really like electronic music. I go to like a lot of music festivals and stuff like that. I really like Bob Marley. I listen to him quite a lot. So yeah, I would say like hip hop, blues, rock, reggae, and electronic music. I definitely fuck with the Motown. I like old music a lot, honestly.
Yeah. Hey, dope. And I love the diversity in your taste of music. And I've also heard you on diverse type of beats in the music that you make, boom bap, some modern. And so, what about producers wise? Who you really digging, or whose kind of production do you gravitate towards as you're picking beats?
Well, I work with a lot of independent artists. There's so many like really dope underground producers out there. So like the last couple beats that I've been working with a producer called Karasama Beats. He lives in India. Really,
Oh, okay.
really good guy. Yeah. So shout outs to him. Um, I just like try a lot to be connected with the scene in my area. So yeah, like I really, really like Imperative. He's a Canadian producer.
Okay.
Uh, like more well-known producers, like obviously someone like Marco Polo
Yeah.
or
Oh, he's good.
DJ Premier, all like the goats, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And so, hey, so let's peel back the onion a little bit. You talked about the Vancouver scene and staying connected, and so looks like a quite active scene. And so, yeah,
Uh-huh.
how's the community and how's the hip hop scene in your area from your perspective?
Uh, Relatively small, like everybody knows everybody.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a pretty tight knit scene, but like it's quite active. Like for example, on Friday, I just went to the Icon ciphers, and that was really cool. They also have like a segment, a part of their ciphers with this a Latin freestyle, so it's like a big all Spanish
Oh,
uh, musicians that just like totally rip bars in battles. Um, but yeah, like it's good. There's like a show every weekend. Um, I basically feel like I know everybody. So I mean it's really supportive, and there's like,
good.
pretty diverse of like the old heads and the up and coming newer kids that are doing their thing. But yeah, I mean it's good, and I would say like for the most part it's a pretty positive community.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. And
Yeah.
so with that, here's a question I like to ask everybody that's on the show is how did you come up with your MC name? First, I like your logo where it's got the cassette and then the tape ribbon and kind of like yeah that draws under it. So I love the logo. But how did you come up with your name?
Yeah, that's a good question. So my name is Cassie, and my last name is McLennan, so MC. But for cassette, actually, I don't know if you know who Apathy and Self-Titled are, the Demigodz.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So what happened was is I used to battle in a Canadian rap battle league called KOTD,
Yeah,
and
the dot.
King of the Dot. Yeah. So I did a battle there when I was like 23. I'm 34 now, so it was over 10 years ago. And Apathy and Self-Titled were the judges there.
Oh,
And I
dope.
was fortunate enough to kind of hang out with them a little bit after the show. And Self-Titled was like, yeah, like, what do you call yourself? And I was like, oh, I just go by Cass. And he's like, nah, you got to come up with something better than that. Yeah. So I suggested Cassette. And I was like, yeah, maybe. And he's like, no, no, no. Like, it's a play on your real name. It's old school, like your style of music. And it's like a feminine touch. And the funny thing is, I didn't really write that cassette name for a while. And then I was like, a couple of years after he suggested it. And then I was like, that's such a sick name. So yeah, that's where I got it from. I got my hip hop name when I was hanging out with the Demigodz, and they suggested it.
Dude, that is a crazy story. I love it.
Yeah, and it's funny because I was like, yeah, it's kind of cool. And Self-Titled was like, what do you mean it's kind of cool? When people ask you where you got your name from, you see the Demigodz gave.
There you go. There you go. That's it. Well,
Yeah.
good. So I didn't realize that you started more as a battle rapper. So how? Yeah. So is that kind of the avenue you went before actually writing music, or was it just something that you tried? How long were you in the battle scene?
It was relatively short lived. I mean, there was a big build up towards it. I mean, it was the biggest biggest kicking off point for my rap career, I would say. Like I said previously, I was always obsessed with rap and writing since I
Yeah.
was like 12, but like leading up to the battle, like I like so long. And so yeah, I long story short, I just did the one battle because
Okay.
I mean, I got love for the battle scene, but I just wanted to focus more of my attention on like being an artist, like
Sure.
performing, making music. So yeah, like it was a really good jumping off point, and I got a lot of opportunities offered after that, but I just didn't really want to focus my attention on that. So I just did the one
Okay.
battle.
No,
Yeah.
hey, fair enough. A lot of people can't say that they've done that, and so really, really cool that you got to do that and battle on a big stage. So
Yeah.
very cool, and I love the story on how you get your name. I concur with self-titled. Pretty cool story.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, good. Well, hey, with that, do you recall the moment that you said, "Hey, I actually want to try to write a rap," and so, what was that experience like, and what motivated you? What was the catalyst for you to actually put pen on paper?
It was from like the early stage. Incredible to think that how long hip hop music has been so embedded in my life.
Yeah,
Uh, that like I was writing rhymes. I recorded my first track when I was like 15.
nice.
I didn't even know how to write bars at that time. I remember like specific memories of being quite young, like 16 years old, and like battling these boys at like house parties and just mopping them off the floor and
That's
people
great.
going crazy. Like it was just like people were like, "Oh, like you know that chick Cass, like she's really good at rapping." And so yeah, like I just like started writing the rhymes and battling, and then um yeah, and then I just started doing like the performing and just like trying to integrate myself with the community. But yeah, like it just started like from such a young age, and what inspired
Yeah,
it, I mean, I mean, it's to this day, I still idolize all those people, and I just wanted to be creative, right?
yeah, very
Yeah,
cool. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And you went on a good trajectory after that. And so, with that, was the community very accepting of you in your journey to become a rapper? Were there any challenges with you being a female?
Yeah, I mean, there's always sets of challenges being a female. I think sometimes we're just so under in the music industry, and sometimes you work twice as hard. So with that being said, like, yeah, there was a lot of challenges. There is still a lot of challenges to this day. Being a musician is not hard or not easy,
Yeah.
and it's an incredible amount of work and dedication. As just yeah, as I was growing up, I mean, God, like, I mean, I feel like the standards of hip hop are a lot different today than they were like 15 years ago.
Sure.
There was a lot of standards of just like having high caliber bars, being able to freestyle off the top of the dome.
Yeah.
Like anyways, just the people where I came from, right? Like you had to prove yourself in order to
Yeah.
gain respect in your circle. So yeah, like I remember like I didn't have a lot of people sugarcoat anything for me when it came to my skill set. Like I remember very times where I would spend weeks on a verse and then somebody would just tell me it was trash and I wanted just to cry
Yeah.
and just wanted to, but I've been strong enough to like use that as fuel to do better.
Yeah.
Uh,
Sure.
but yeah, I mean, you gotta have a thick skin. But I think I would not really be an artist today if it wasn't for the encouragement of my peers. Because I
Yeah.
mean, time I was doing the battling and I was starting to come up as an MC, like people were like, "You're really, really dope," and I didn't quite see that in myself until
Okay.
a collective of individuals that were really believing me. And I was like, well, if people believe in me in this so much, like I must have something to offer, right? So
Sure.
mhm.
Yeah, and I love just as I followed you, you're an ambassador to female empowerment, and I
Yeah,
love that you encourage young ladies who are also pursuing hip hop and just doing things in general and just cheering them on and being an advocate. So I really appreciate that. And so that's great. I assume that you made a conscious effort to be a representative in doing so. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, very cool. And so I saw you did the podcast too as well. And so I'm all about it. I love it when people showcase and represent. So we appreciate you for that.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Yeah, I do my own little podcast thing right now, and just
Yeah.
yeah, we're just trying to support the other artists and stuff. Like we kind of postponed it for a little while,
Yep.
and it was just really incredible. Again, like the support from other people. I had so many people like, when can I get a turn? When can I get a turn? And I was like, okay, we got to do this again. So
Yeah. Hey, why don't you give your show a shout out? Tell me the name and how long has it been running and when are we gonna expect to see it up online again? That's very exciting.
yeah, so shout outs to the Boombox Video Show, formerly known as the Boombox Radio Show. I'm the co-host Cassette. We also have Lex Lucifer and RZ Rhymestein, founder. This has been circulation for since 2012. It was previously a radio show, but unfortunately COVID kind of screwed things up. So now we're doing a video show. What
Nice.
we go around in the community, whether you're an MC, graffiti artist, singer, just someone that's contributing to the culture. We like just to go around like interview people. We do an annual show every August, and it's
Nice.
such a fun time. We like perform and have a barbecue, and we do live graffiti sessions on site and breakdancing, stuff like that. So yeah, shout outs to the Boombox Video Show.
Yeah, hey, I look forward to catching the next session and yeah, super cool. And how many people do that with you? Is it just you and another person, or is there a big cast of folks that help out?
Yeah, so RZ is the founder. He does it, and then myself and Lex Lucifer were the co-hosts. So there's three of us that are doing it.
Very dope. The other two, are they MCs too, or do they participate in any other elements?
Yeah, they are MCs. RZ is just a man of many trades. It's big shoes to fill sometimes. Like
Yeah.
he's so driven. Like he's a graphic designer, MC, producer, graffiti artist. He just came out with his own uh, like he's doing like his own printing company. So he like prints off all like merch and stickers and all that kind of stuff. And then Lex Lucifer, he's also a rapper.
Okay. Hey, very cool. All from the Vancouver area, I assume.
All from the Vancouver area. You guys are in Hawaii, right?
Yeah, I am. So I'm actually from California, but I'm here for work, and so I've been out here for a couple years now. But California is home to me, West Coast.
That's awesome. Yeah, I was just in Hawaii a couple months ago.
Oh man, you vacation or for work or?
For vacation, it was absolutely wonderful.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a vibe. It was a vibe.
Yeah. Well, hey, holla next time. Hawaii's a great place. A lot of good places to eat, and yeah, holy cow, I love this place.
Yeah, it's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah. Very cool. Well, hey man, sounds like the hip hop scene is thriving and a lot of good people doing good things to help spread the culture. I love it. What are you listening to these days? So much music out there. Do you have any particular favorites?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny you just said that. My homie Lendor, he just sent this in the mail to me today.
Yeah.
My homie Lendor, he's from Toronto.
Yeah.
He just sent me his album. I'm on the album. I'm track 4, Bad Chick. So that's what the song's called. So this is what I'm listening to right now.
Go. Good shout out.
Popping that in the deck. Yeah, I mean, I've been just kind of I listen to old school stuff. I've been really enjoying like Nas's new album. I've been really enjoying Benny the Butcher's new album. That's just fire. I like J. Cole a lot, and yeah, I listen to like a lot of stuff. But yeah, this is what I'll be listening today. Is Lendor.
Hey, shout out to Lendor. I know he's a follower of the Off the Grid podcast account, and it's always Yeah, always got stuff going on. And so tell me about that. So he's from the East Coast. You're from the West Coast of Canada. How did you guys connect, man? We got to get him on the show too. But how did y'all connect for Bad Chick?
Yeah, so I have a friend named Renee Double. He's a DJ in Toronto or Ontario, and he's just always been such like a huge supporter of my music, always spinning my music on his stations and stuff. And then Lendor, he does kind of what you do too. He interviews artists and has his own little channel. So um,
Wow.
yeah, so he had asked me to hop on the interview with him, and so I did an interview with him last year, and we've just connected as friends, like
Yeah.
music friends and stuff like that. He's a former football player. Like I think he's in the Canadian national football.
Jeez.
Yeah, like he's
Yeah.
football player, and yeah, he's a really dope musician. So yeah, he just hit me up and said, would you like to be on the album? And the concept was like something a little bit different for me, because he's like, in the song he talks about a bad chick, and then in my version of my verse is kind of like my own feminine version of what a bad dude is.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
so
okay.
yeah, a little bit different for me. It's a little bit more like sultry, a little bit more sexy in
Yeah.
the song. But yeah, so he just asked me to hop on, and the rest is history.
I love it. Well, great. Hey, thanks for giving him a shout out. We'll get him on here someday. But yeah, hey, check out Lendor's new album. Super dope.
Yeah.
And with that, I want to dive into some of your music now. So, hey, let's talk about your single "Dear God" that you released in December 2022, produced by Gully. Man, I really enjoyed the message and the lyrics behind that. Can you tell me? Actually, let me read you the hook, which I really dug. You know, the hook. I've been just trying to find a way, just to try to get it right. Got to give myself time. I know it'll be all right, just to feel like me again. Like, dear God, are you listening? And so, tell me about why you wrote that song and what you were going through at the time when you put that together.
Yeah, so basically the concept of that song is like writing a letter to God. When I don't know if you can, a lot of us are just going through a touch of who you are, and you get kind of consumed with the depression, health issues, and that song's just about like asking God to help me find myself again.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I think like I talk on like a lot of different subjects. I talk about like the unrealistic expectations, like living up to beauty standards. I talk about the struggle of working every day, just trying to get ahead financially and struggling with that. Um, I just talk a lot about like many different subjects, and it's just like basically touching light on my mental health issues, and yeah, writing a letter to God to help him, asking him to help me just find myself again, and just trying to be patient with myself.
yeah. Hey, I love it. And so, I mean, those are the songs that really really connect with the community. Everybody's going through the same thing, and so to hear
Yeah.
somebody like yourself, with that type of messaging, there's instant connection. So I love the messaging that came out there, and I love the little video segment too that you did in the little Gastown graffiti alley. I went to the one in I think was it Toronto, maybe in Toronto, but I guess it's in the Vancouver area, right, where all the graffiti is. Yeah.
Yeah, in the alleyway, it's this little alleyway, where all the like the different graffiti artists are always painting on those walls. Like 2 weeks ago, I was just there, and there was like a whole crew of people that same alleyway. But yeah, that's in Gastown. That was all shot on like an iPhone 13,
It
and
looked great.
you know what? I'm like pushing like 7,000 views on that little video thing.
It's awesome.
Like this goes to show, like sometimes you don't need a super high budget to make a big impact with your music.
Yeah. Hey, I agree. I did get a chuckle out of the comment that you made that little area smells like piss, but
Ah,
it's it's dope though. I mean, the graffiti looks dope.
it smells like urine down there. So Vancouver is pretty fucking greasy sometimes.
Yeah, but I mean, hey, the graffiti is dope.
Yeah.
Good. Hey, so with that, hey, you got a nice lineup of singles that I found on digital streaming. Another one that I really enjoyed was the Boss Up track that you released last year. And then you mentioned Karasama earlier, who is a producer out of India. And
Yeah.
so, hey, this is where I thought you were really flexing. Like, I like how you went between, you were riding with the beat and then you were flexing double time raps, and I like how you go back and forth between that. But can you talk to me about the Boss Up song? What was the concept behind that? And how did you connect with Karasama from India?
Yeah, thank you so much for noticing those flexing of the bar flow switch ups. That was the whole concept. But yeah, like, so I did a song with Carson, another guy named Open Mind. Like, we did a collaboration. So yeah, I just kind of got like connecting with Carson, and he like sent me this like really badass trap style song.
Yep.
Uh, so yeah, I mean, the concept of that was just like it's more like just flexing bars.
Yeah.
I talk a lot about in the song how people are always watching your stories, but they're never supporting things. Like, you know,
Nice.
kind of people that won't you, but they do keep you on their social media just to watch you.
That's right. That's right. They got to report up.
Yeah, so I say those guys are fans because I'm just like, well, you watching all my stories, so I guess you gotta love it. So
Yeah.
yeah, and I talk like, like I'm like,
That's fun.
fuck the rumors and computers, yo, I'm working independent, more concerned about my future than the followings and mentions. I got moving, I'm investing in my spending, I'm improving with this music, I'm not worried about what's trending. So
I
I just
love it.
stay like being a boss, like that's my whole concept. I do as an artist is just like being a boss is a state of mind and just like focusing on you. And it's so easy to get lost in the numbers and the followings and the streams and the likes, and I think it's just so important to like stay true to who you are and just do you and not worry about other people.
Hey, I love that, and I love the video on how it was shot. The the places that you went. I just like it. It just made sense.
That's
Yeah.
all place, by the way.
Is it really? Oh, crazy. Looked
Yeah.
all different, but it was super cool. I just love the way that the video was shot and the location was great. And lyrics, again, I appreciate lyrics. Hop on stage, I go bananas in this game. I do some damage. Yeah, Cassette, she just so savage. Can't compete with Cass. I'm speaking facts. So, yep, good flex song, and I really enjoyed it, and I really enjoyed the video.
Oh, thanks a lot for listening to that. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure. And as mentioned, you got a lot of great singles that are on there. One to highlight is the song that you did with Ghetto T, DJ Ted D, and the legendary Cool G Rap. Again, another dope standout verse that you had on that song. I thought you murdered the track. How, what was going through your mind when you put that verse together? Really cool song.
Thanks a lot. Well, I mean, Cool G Rap is a legend. Um, really big influence to me. Here, when I knew when I was gonna do a song with Cool G Rap, I had to come hard. I had to come correct on that.
How long did it take you to put that verse? It was sharp.
I put some love and care into that verse. So,
Very nice.
I mean, I would say probably like 10 days or so, just like
Cool.
come because I come back and forth to it. I don't just like sit there all day. Like, I've been doing this long enough for like, okay, I need a break. I'm gonna come back to this and then just like revision, and
Yeah.
just change up this different things. But yeah, no, it was really fun. That guy Ghetto T, he was just a fan of my music from Ohio, and he just asked me like to do a song. And uh,
Cool.
DJ Ted, the guy that did the cuts in the hook, he's from Vancouver. I hired him to do the hook. So yeah, what was going through my head was I just wanted to kill it. I wanted to make sure that there wasn't a huge gap in between me and Cool G Rap, and obviously there is going to be because that guy is a
Right. Right.
wanted to like make sure I did the best I could, right?
No, absolutely. That was a great song, and I really enjoyed that one. And two other songs I really enjoyed from your catalog. One was the "There for You" song, and I really like the incorporation of singers in songs. So Eliza Smith, I thought she killed the hook. Great singing. Good friend of yours.
Pardon me?
She a good friend of yours.
Yeah, we're like we're buddies for sure. Like she's a just bit she's been around a long time. She's a really good singer and stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah, I was really fortunate enough to have her um hop on with me. And then Fortunato, the guy that was rapping, he's also from Toronto. So
Cool.
yeah, both very talented people.
Yeah, very cool song there for you. Check that one out. And and I also am a fan of international collaborations. You do that quite frequently with U.S. artists, but I would say another major feat in your catalog is the one that you did with the folks out of Chile, the Alliance. I thought that was cool. And so again, was that another online connection that they dug your work and wanted to work with you, and you guys did this song?
Yeah, yeah. So shout outs to El Comandante and Chinos Ghost Beats out in Chile. They reached out to me and asked if I wanted to collaborate. And the cool thing about that is like they don't really any English.
Okay.
So like, the whole like corresponding of that um was like facilitated through like Google Translation and stuff.
Awesome.
But like all worked out really well. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, it was really cool how that worked too. And like the guy that did the cuts for that, I hired. That was DJ Goldman from Vancouver as well. Really good turntablist. But yeah, those are my homies from Chile. I hope that we could still work together. Yeah, we got connected through just through the love of the internet. Like
Yeah.
there is a lot of negativity on the internet, but there's still a lot of like great connections I've made on there. And yeah, I learned a lot about like different worldly music, like because they were playing a lot of um, our music on this radio station in Colombia.
Okay.
It was really cool because it was all like live footage and like this DJ was spinning live sessions um and in Colombia and stuff. And I realized it was just like music is so universal. Like all those are just fire. All the production is just fire. It's just we're all speaking in different languages, but it's
That's
all
it.
the same passion. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And so that's why I'm a big fan of international collaboration. The internet has bridged those distances and have made them quite closer. So very cool that we get to do that. And so I wanted to highlight that, and I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, that's great. I really appreciate you digging into my catalog and stuff. Like sometimes when I do interviews, it's kind of, I I just don't know how much they were, checking out my stuff. So it's nice to know that you did that.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I mentioned earlier that you're a big advocate for female empowerment, and I thought that's cool. I think that's important. I'm all about gender balance, and so I want to ask you, what advice do you have for younger females who want to try to make it in the game and do what you've done? Any advice that you want to share?
Um, yeah, I think just like something I could say is just like surround yourself around like-minded, supportive people. As much as like we all want to be competitive because this hip hop is so ego driven, I think like real women aren't competing against each other; they're building with each other.
Yeah,
Um,
I like that.
it's to like make sure that yeah, you're just staying positive. You're working with people that like build you up instead of like trying to just kind of peg you down because I've been there so many times. Um, yeah, and I think like if you want to be a rapper, like because there's so many people nowadays like, yo, I want to rap, and it's just like sometimes it's like, yo, man, like it's not for everybody. And if you actually want to rap, like put in the work and make sure you're like developing your craft. You're not just cool. And and with that being said, have fun with it. Like
Yeah,
music is about. Do not take yourself so seriously. If you're not having fun with it, then why are you doing this? I know sometimes it's hard to remember because there's been a lot of times where I'm like, oh my God, why am I doing this? But at the end of the day, it's just supposed to be fun. So yeah, I mean, I think with any girl, I would just say like it's gonna be hard. Sometimes you got like so much to prove. And I just also would like to say, like, always remember, like, you are an artist, you're not a female artist. Like sometimes people are gonna want to put you in
Great point.
a box. And sometimes it's easy to put yourself in a box, and just make sure that you're just staying true to yourself. If you want to be a rapper, I think it's great. Just put your best foot forward and stay true to yourself. I think a lot of these female rappers are just like hopping on these gimmicks and trends and subjects matters because it works for them.
Sure.
But just make sure, like, is that really like true to yourself? Because sometimes you just want to appease your audience, and I think that's what music and art is about. It's like a creative outlet for yourself to nourish your passions and your soul. So just, yeah, just have fun with it. And that's just a couple things I have to say about
Hey, I love it. Wise words. Well said. With that, what's your preference? Do you like to write with a beat or without a beat?
with the beat, 100%.
Always, huh? Okay. All right. Hey, okay. What do you? Hey, well, first, thank you for the deep dive into your music and just going into the mind of Cassette the MC to understand where you came from, where you started, and your journey there. Not an easy one, but a successful one in my opinion. And so, outside of that, work and family, what do you like to do for fun when not making music?
I really like to travel. Like I was in Hawaii a couple months ago, and then like before that, and I was in Mexico. So I like to travel. I'm really close with my. Uh, I like to go out and eat food and drink good drinks and just like cruise the city. Um, yeah, I mean, like, I just do like a lot of. I like to go to concerts and stuff like that. Like, I just bought tickets to see Slick Rick next month.
Oh, dope. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So, I mean, I would say music's like a huge part of my life. But yeah, I mean, I have my little dog here. I spent a lot of time with her.
Okay. All right. Adorable.
So we're always together.
All right. Very
Yeah.
cool. Well, hey, with that, let's move into the lighter portion of the interview. Just some questions I like to ask as we get ready to wrap this thing up. Let's go and see what kind of humor you got. What is Cassette the MC's favorite comedy movie of all time?
Ooh, I would have to say probably Dumb and Dumber.
Very good.
Like Ace Ventura, Dumb and Dumber. Yeah, I love that shit.
Good, good choices. All right. Hey, if you could have any superhero power, what would it be and why?
I think I would like to fly just because, I mean, I don't think I need to explain it. It'd just be really cool to be able to fly.
Absolutely. Get to your shows in Toronto faster. Very cool. All right. Hey, they're getting ready to do a movie about Cassette the MC. Tell me which actress you would pick to play you.
Oh, that's a hard question. Which actress would I would have to probably like pick a goat, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, absolutely.
someone like really, really good, like maybe like Meryl Streep,
I
or
like it.
someone like just really good and like old school.
There you
You know,
go.
yeah.
Very cool. All right. Hey, if you had a time machine, would you travel to the future or back to the past?
Back to the past. I'm way too stuck in the 90s. It's not even like I literally go by cassette where, yeah, stuck in the 90s. I'd go back to the 90s, no questions asked.
All right. Hey, I want some coffee. Where are you taking me? Timmy Hortons or Starbucks?
Either. I think both are trash, but
And I'm not a coffee drinker either, so.
I would have Starbucks just because it is overall better quality coffee.
Okay. All right. All right. Here's a good fun one. All right. Is it a crime to have poutine from McDonald's?
Is it a crime to At McDonald's? Absolutely not.
Good.
I is socially acceptable. You got to do what you got to do. Usually, when you hit up a poutine at McDonald's, it's like 3 a.m. You're leaving the bar. You need to have something. No shame game.
I love it. Yeah, I had a bunch when I was in Toronto and Montreal a couple months ago. So awesome.
I wouldn't like recommend it for poutine, but if you got to
Right.
get it, got to get it in.
Got to get your fix right. Awesome. Well, hey, good. Are there any special events or projects that you want to tell folks about to be on the lookout for?
Yeah, so I'm working on an album right now. I'm heading into track 5 with that. So that's
Okay.
been an ongoing thing. Yeah, so I'm doing that. I got like a couple like collaboration singles coming out with like Mr. Mike, another one with Reflections, which I'm really looking forward to. Yeah, I got a show this month for 420. As you know, like Canadians like to smoke a lot of pot. So it's like a big thing, the 420 thing. I don't really smoke weed, but I support it. So yeah, so I got a show coming up then, and yeah, I just been like doing the podcast and stuff like that, and so yeah, pretty much just a couple of these collabs coming out. Work on the album. I got a show this month, and yeah, doing the Boombox video show stuff too.
Yeah, I love it. Hey, well, with that, it was an honor to go into your catalog. I look forward to more music that you'll put out. It's awesome that you got the podcast and show coming back. And I look forward to following your career. I thought, when I first heard you, thought you were a dope MC, wanted to have you on. So I appreciate you making time to come hop on. And I'm excited to share the interview. Are there any final words that you want to close the show out with before we end this thing?
Yeah, say thank you so much for having me. Shout out Off the Grid show for supporting all the underground artists. If anybody that wants to follow me, you can follow me on Instagram. It's Cassette the MC. I'm on all digital streaming platforms. So yeah, I just want to say thanks again for having me. I think it's great that you take time to do these things.
Awesome. Well, thanks. All right. Well, with that, I look forward to sharing this and enjoy the rest of your Monday. Take care.
Oh, you too. God
All
bless.
right.